Telemanus is not entirely sure about what he's saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
So you have a third mystery?
Have the
Ask
things
Shagaman.
that we
Oh,
said.
not Shagaman, Geraphon.
That there was hundreds of potentials. Out of those, 3 were picked. None of them succeeded, and so he's left with this.
Oh, with this.
But if there are like one more brother out there, and he can be recruited, that would be pretty cool. Have like
I don't-
all of 3 of Shargamus's.
I just maybe Medikai can chime in here again. I don't think that recruiting like a chaotic evil black dragon is going to work very well unless you have like something very
Most
convincing.
of them, like, that's the thing. Like, the ones of note, seem to not really be around. Except for Gerathon. And the rest of them are, like, most of them are, greedy and foolish and just really the worst kind of... Black dragons are known for their complete fucking disloyalty and backstabbery, so...
Yeah,
if they could get anything, but, like, you leave them 1 second alone and they will just grab whatever they can and leave.
They're like Faroe Islands.
Always sort of
Aww.
thinking great of themselves.
Have you seen Scandinavian?
Like,
The
I
World?
should probably also know that,
No.
that they're... they're the dragon kind who are known to be completely untrustworthy.
Sure.
At least red ones you can trust to destroy something. Black ones are just sinister and cruel and unpleasant.
Why should we even trust Telemundus?
Why should you?
He's a nice guy. He's a nice dragon. You can
He's
pet
not
him.
No, he's not. He's terrible.
He's given you like a mini statue of himself. He's like, here, take this. You need this.
I didn't get one, and I'm glad I
The
didn't.
shrine. Should we offer ranks too?
Maybe we can make you a statue of Tillamook.
I don't
I
want a
mean-
statue of him.
I mean, if Telemundus starts pushing, we can certainly destroy him. It is in our power to destroy Telemundus, and he knows it.
He's already
I mean, I can, like-
threatening me just for asking questions.
You kind of insulted his father.
Well,
Like,
his father,
openly.
Aw, daddy's boy.
his father kind of failed what he was supposed to do. Kill one.
Well, you don't
kill,
point that out to his son.
kill
that's just
one
rude.
dragon. Kill a princess.
Well, with the princess running around, though, that is a bit of
That's
a problem.
a freaking bitch. She's the next heir. Everyone's gonna be like, oh, princess.
But she ran away.
Well, everyone's
Yeah,
gonna
we
look
haven't
for
like
her and
heard
try
anything about it.
to get her to safety and protect her.
It's only been like
Everyone's
2
going
days.
to assume she died. There's no evidence that she.
Yeah,
like,
I
Well,
imagine
the most powerful people are gonna be there to protect her now.
we have destroyed the most powerful people, I think. I don't think there's many
Yeah.
left.
I mean, it's to the point where Chargaman dropped down the top of the Adarium. Well, Princess is dead. That's what everyone thinks.
Yeah.
You know?
And like the king is like he is gone. No one knows what happened to him.
Yeah, the people that are left, I think, are Fawn, Havelin, the princess, and Mrs. Big Badass Silver Dragon in the north.
Is Shagaman nuts? We can take up a dragon.
We have killed 2.
I mean,
At
yeah.
least.
Yeah, but those were
And
tiny
we could
dragons.
easily
No.
kill Zerathon, probably.
We
right now.
Eremanthus was a huge freaking badass.
Memphis was ancient.
Yeah.
Aramathus was a copper dragon.
Yes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him any less dangerous.
Copper dragons are dangerous.
It actually
Copper
did.
Dragon, no, I mean it doesn't. I mean Copper Dragons have 2 breath weapons. They have like a paralyzing one and like, or I don't know, like a sleep one or something,
Uranthus was
as
also
well as the regular fire one.
also Uranthus was most likely a scholar and had
Yeah.
spent all his powerful abilities learning how to transform into different kinds of
Mhm.
forms to
He
rule
was like the guy from Age of
the
Darkness.
women of the plains. Yeah. Shapeshifting
Out of-
dragon.
Out of all the dragons, copper dragons are probably the least like combat effective.
White dragons.
And the silver one, we were. Yeah.
Silver is palace
Silver Dragon honestly should have been much harder,
Yeah, that was kind of sad.
but it was
We
like
were buffed to the insane and we were ready to kill him. But this is gonna be I thought Thorn was bad enough.
Well, Thorn is our main problem now. We're focusing on him. When he's dead,
But-
we can turn our attention to something else.
Out of character, didn't Shargaman say that the silver dragon will be looking for us?
But he's got the leader away by his time,
Yeah.
which is the most uncharacteristic thing I've ever heard. He must he loves you, Telemundus.
I know.
That or
It's a single acid tear falls from his red eyes.
he's dying.
Daddy!
I agree with that. He's probably dying.
Yeah, that seemed very serious to me.
That's how unlikely it was. Oh, you're dying.
But
How
yeah.
did you know?
Then Zacharias will look at the rest and says, "With that done, we need to head to Gaston Hall. I need to speak to Thrain."
Oh, joy. Are we gonna tell the... I forgot his name. The half-elf with... what is her name? Baroness.
Arthur? Oh,
Zacharias shrugs. She can stew for a bit.
Okay.
We would have to go to Mathrin to talk to them.
Or maybe they're still in Gaston Hall.
Not in 2 days, they haven't.
Hmm.
Zacharias will move over here. Motion to Marcus to get in line.
get in line.
Whoa! As a side note, in like a half hour, if we're still playing, I'm gonna have to go.
And Zacharias will teleport the party to Gaston Hall.
Where in Garson Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time we were
Not
in
the
Gaston Hall,
mansion,
there were
not
devils
the
at
mansion.
manor.
Can we
We'll,
teleport
Like in a
to...
quarantine.
We will go to the abandoned mansion on the hill where we found the Dwarengar.
Isabel.
We could go to a back room in like the Golden Palace.
Oh, yeah, right, you
to-
own that, right?
Because Kyron owns that place.
Alright,
Well, it's
sure.
not called the Golden Palace anymore. It's called the Dragon's Hall.
Dragon's Claw.
What?
I like that name.
Alright, well, we'll go to the Dragon's Call.
Precious?
Oh, you can appear in the opium den. No one would notice.
Yes. That's,
So,
Pesh den, I guess.
More like a curtained off back room that is only for like very important people.
Sure.
Do I-
There are
do I
plenty
send
of
that
those
message
private
too?
rooms.
Zacharias will don his human guise for this.
by the
Yeah.
way, Sheep, the thing you wanted for the palace, I believe I finished it already.
Hooray.
Are there any cool like races here that Marcus hasn't eaten yet?
Like, if there is a...
So like a tiefling here or something?
there might be, yeah. Tiefling
Tiefling?
gambler.
Alright, dominate. No.
Marcus will turn on the vampire come hither.
Basically. Yeah. Well, we got
Yeah.
time.
You know,
right?
if you want to
I-
find- if
I
you
don't
want to
need
find-
to talk to Thrain, and
This
there's
is
a whole
the-
party going on.
This is the place you go if you want to find successful, unsavory people.
So,
Scammers, gamblers, cheaters, thieves.
Rich, dread
But
knight
only the good
vampires.
ones. The bad ones don't have money to get in here.
Yeah, and
Kyron,
coming out of the back room, come into a slightly larger room, and on one of the walls is a ginormous painting of Telemondus.
Does he hold aloft like a golden apple or like some sort of,
No,
you know,
no, just him. Any other object would take away from the majesty.
is he sitting on a cliffside or something?
Yes, a cliffside. At night.
Mhm.
And yet
Looking
he's
out
still...
over the burning
can't see
ruins
him.
of a city.
Well, no, he is the darker black of the night, right? He's like,
He is darker than the night.
yeah, darker than
Darker
black.
than black. Bang.
And glowing slightly, which is a paradox, but it works on the painting.
Mm.
He sucks. He's like a black hole. He sucks in the light.
Well, you know, a serious brushwork is certainly something.
that painting took a long time.
Who knew that that such a poet's soul hid
much did he
within
pay
a
you?
serious? With that, Zacharias will
What
look
else
around.
is in here, Kyron?
And he will
Just-
go to
just like-
visit Thrain.
Chairs and stuff. It's like a
Well, Marcus
back
doesn't need to
room
talk to
where the
Thrain. He
important
chills
people
in the
can
dragons.
talk
whatever.
and eat.
I'll
That
go
is-
to visit Thrain.
That is fine. Zacharias will say to us that they probably don't need to follow him to Thrain, since he is one of the very powerful wizards. He doesn't think he is out to destroy Zacharias, and even if he tried, he wouldn't be able to. Zacharias is the one party member that is the most protected out of everyone from death. So, and he has a lot of spells, so he can probably go to Thrain and back without any incidents.
Oh, wait.
Marcus like finds some cute tiefling and like chats her up and then eats her.
Cash could be a drow in Gaston Hall, right?
No.
I mean, if she was in like the port district of Gaston Hall.
Well, I don't have any way of changing.
I can cast.
I mean,
You know
you could
what?
probably be in here, and I mean, if anyone's gonna be sad about that, they're just gonna go
Do you want to go
Kyron,
exploring?
right? You can
I
be
can
in the
cast-
Dragon's Horde. No one would bat an eye over a drow. Not that they've seen one before, but like, what the hell? That guy stole fucking tons of gold from the church, and that guy over there murdered someone for money and whatnot.
So
I,
Cash can be at the.
In here, Kyron sets the rules.
In this building, yes.
Okay, so
And as long as he pays his taxes, the governor, the Duke, is like, oh, I don't care.
okay, fine. Cash will stay in
Do you
here
want to go
then.
to explore the
If
town?
you want to become not Drowlic, if you feel like you want to go somewhere, I can cast ancestral regression on you, turning you into a regular elf for 24 hours.
Do you have that prepared though?
Oh!
I don't know.
Oh,
Actually.
no!
You probably
Never
wouldn't have
mind.
that prepared.
Well,
No, I don't have any
second
reason to have
line.
that.
So in that
prepared.
case, if you do want to go, I
Yeah,
can
that's
always
fair.
give you disguise self.
That's true.
now I could flip us to the Gasnol map, but I don't see a point.
Oh.
You want to?
I mean, we're on gas and all
Sure, I'll put you to Gasnol.
Thank you.
Would Lady Cash want to explore around?
No,
Don't-
she has
No.
seen, a
Don't.
lot of.
Don't walk around on your own.
Also,
She'll stay at the Dragon's Claw and talk up some strangers and see if she can get lucky.
you
Get
find
someone-
that people don't trust each other here.
Well, she just wants a drink.
Sure.
Booze and some booty.
There we go. I'm looking for bonin.
No.
Mhm.
Hookers and blackjack, booze. This place
Where-
has it all.
Where
Cute
is...
Basically, any kind of non-standard race, because Marcus has probably tried all those. by
Oh,
now.
oops.
Sure. No blood spree.
The Marcus
I mean,
bet
he
is
has
great.
family in this city anyway. You could go visiting if you wanted to.
No, not here. In Mathrin. Oh, wait, nah, the Vestromos, yes.
That kind of family.
That was
The
embarrassing.
kind, your adopted family, the kind that you just like try to stay away from, but you have to socialize with them on occasion.
Every
But
Thanksgiving.
they can certainly serve him different kinds of blood.
Well, I want it from the source.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they don't
alright.
have it tapped. The blood, the whole blood tax that people pay while living here that means that sometimes people disappear and just don't ask about it, because you're not gonna like what you find.
Marcus will. Yeah, he goes to visit the Vestromos, and he
He can
Yo,
walk.
what's up?
He
he's
can, like
fine on his own.
he can walk halfway with Zacharias.
Will Cash get any interesting looks, being the fact that she's a drow with wings?
In here, oh yeah,
It's
especially the wings.
especially the wing. Will she
Oh.
get? Will she
She
find?
knows that this information will be in the Inquisition in like 2 minutes.
Ah,
As I said, if you want to
Place is
disguise yourself, you can.
ransacked.
Please don't ransack. Get my
Do you-
tavern
do you-
ransacked.
Because you
Do you
know
want to have
that
a
a drow
disguise?
with wings is sort of suspected for a few things here and there.
Yeah.
do we need to disguise her?
Would you like to be disguised?
Do you think?
I mean, probably. I mean, up to Cash.
I don't want to make.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Before we
I
go.
will-
again-
Irons.
I will hand Cash one of my most expensive possessions, the Western Star, which can disguise you at will.
Okay. Cash will use it and turn it
What?
into normal elf.
It is quite a powerful ironstone I bought, which allows you to do unlimited disguise self. Kind of like a hat of disguise, except slotless and also undetectable.
You know, maybe Cash should get one of those. Can you make one?
No, Zacharias will have to make it.
Oh yeah, Zacharias. Sorry, I forgot.
Irons actually apparently wants to meet at a local little tea house.
Oh,
How
interesting.
quaint.
Then Zacharias will go there, although he is certainly on alert going here, since this is breaking from norm. And he will be very much scrutinizing everything as he stalks through the throng of people.
Well, that's a serious disguising. as a
Other
human.
people seem very non-plague here. Yeah. Doesn't really seem like a lot of plagues going on. People do seem like worried, and much talk goes on of what's going on in Mathrin.
Anything particular interesting?
People are just worried. It seems that like high amounts of news are just coming in now.
Mhm.
Most likely with the birds and the magic. But
You kids with your birds and your magic.
as she gets to this sort of this small place, it's nice and whatnot, but there's not really anyone else in here, except for Tiberius sitting at one of the small tables. He seems very out of place. This sort of general scholar sitting here, but he has this sort of a deep, telling frown on his brow. He sits here with a cup of tea, untouched, seemingly cold.
Zacharias moves and sits, sits opposite side of the table, facing him. He looks at him and says, "You wished to meet Tiberius?"
Slightly. Yes, it seems that little as I wanted to ask, my curiosity got the best of me.
Zacharias nods slowly. "Certainly. If I can help allay such curiosity, I most certainly will try."
I have recently had it suggested that a young man, a young acolyte, currently following the king's army, maybe should be brought into my custody. Someone who might be of interest to you.
Zacharias moves his hands together. "Go on."
Yes, he leans forward. So let's put all the cards on the table, shall we? I know more than I should, and I will continue to look the other way, hard as it is.
"Well, that is most gracious of you, Thrain. If all the cards are on the table, yes, well, I know certain things as well." He grins.
Perhaps you know then that we have something in common. We both have young, idealistic sons.
Zacharias racks his brains to think if he's ever heard of a son of Thrain. Would that be like a local or?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go for a local check. I actually put points into it this level.
He didn't. He might have. I mean, he was married at some point, but it never really worked out due to his, kind of boring personality, really. Always being interested in work and such. Maybe back in Mathrin, he was more of a businessman before he got, wealthy and decided to lay off anything that earned him money and simply work with the academics.
Hang on, one question. Is this Thrain the Asmodean or Thrain the Wizard?
The wizard.
Okay. Couldn't remember.
Tiberius.
I didn't know what the Asmodean guy's first name was.
Oh, you don't know? You don't.
Oh, okay. So
Let's call him brother. He doesn't have a first name since he joined the church, after
Brother
all.
Thrain and then Professor Tiberius.
You see, recently my son has disappeared, and I know him well. He doesn't rather like me, I think. However, I know he is foolish. I never paid too much attention to him. I simply encouraged his studies, and he have done so greatly, seemingly finding that magic can be a way to gain great influence upon the world, as it is. Moves his finger slightly through his beard.
Mm-hmm.
He is able to reach great potential, friend. It seems, however, that he has turned himself onto a rather destructive path. And now you can sort of see that he seems a little worried. I will need him to potentially be turned away from such. She looks at Zacharias. And with your exploits, I can imagine that you might encounter him.
I see. What name does he go by these days?
It's not him being unable to remember, this is me being unable to remember.
Jim Bob Thrain, at your service, sir.
Here.
My first name is Brother.
Starlin Fane.
Scarlin?
Starlin.
Starlin. Can you spell it?
Yeah.
It's like Talon, but with an S.
Oh, Cash is gonna be all over him.
I don't trust him already.
What I want from you, friend, is that if you would, upon encountering him, merely turn him away from this foolish path and bring him back so I can speak some sense into him, or at least send him running somewhere too far away. In return, I will see what I can do about your own young, idealistic son.
Sakurai slowly nods and says, "That is quite the accomplishment you seem to be able to produce, Tiberius. My son is indeed very idealistic, and sadly he has taken to certain beliefs I'd rather he not have, or at least not exercise in the foolish and frontline manner he does."
Indeed, it's self-destructive as it is.
Yeah.
I, however, have some sway with the king, and indeed, it might be that the king has left me some will on his recent demise.
Word travels quickly then.
That's to me, at least.
Such a senseless waste of human life, was it not? Sakurai smiles.
He was a friend. Good in some ways, certainly improving upon things. However, I see this more as an opportunity. It has changed little for me in total. The academy will continue construction, and now perhaps I can add another student to it, if you, of course, will agree to this little arrangement.
Sakurai nods and says, "Yes, the king had too many and too powerful enemies, I think." Sort of looking at Tiberius.
Too many and too powerful allies more, I think. As I have no love for the church, you know. Few do. However, they are powerful. Too powerful to challenge openly, many would say.
It has certainly changed over the past year, however. The Veil, the king, so many high-ranking members of the Church and the Inquisition falling in battle against this unknown and dread darkness.
Sort of chuckles slightly and says, "Yes, unknown indeed. Now, your son has been apparently asking questions.
Yes.
Questions of a nature that does not befit a young acolyte, and as such, through others, I found him."
Yes, I might have inspired the boy to question some things.
I figured as much. I will then proceed to bring him here and inspire him to follow those questions further, perhaps bringing in some knowledge along the way. In return, when you do, if you do, meet my boy, do not end his life. Try to send him away from his idealistic course, and if that proves impossible, at least make sure that he leaves with the memory that these things can hurt.
Sakurai nods. Very well then, Tiberius, we have an agreement.
So perhaps then it might be of interest to you to know that he left recently in search for something powerful, dark artifact in the north with a party from the Inquisition.
Powerful artifact of the north.
This very day, in fact, or this morning, I have been unable to locate him, and it seems that powerful magic is shielding his location from us.
Yes, there certainly can be such things. He looks at Tiberius. Is your son of the arcane bent as yourself, or does he follow the church?
Quite powerfully so. As I said, he is very forward, but he is wavering and could potentially be brought back to his sense. I have taught him well and taught him much in his younger years, but he has recently grown idealistic. Seems that my teaching has focused too much on the academic.
Understood.
A failing of my own, if anything.
Understood. A powerful artifact of the north, you say? I don't suppose you have any inclination of what this artifact could be.
I do not know, but it is something that the Inquisition would want. Sort of looks into Zacharias as if he's trying to gauge something from his reaction. Do you know what an evil being might have left hidden in the north that they would want?
Zacharias slowly nods and says, I might have an inclination. It just so happens that me and my associates are searching for something that could fit such a vague description. He does a little shrug. I am not certain, however. Information is scarce.
Slowly keep up to our little contract, and we can remain associates and friends. I will continue to provide you with the items produced at the schools and in the shops, and in return, you will do this for me and make sure that as little damage as possible happens to this city in particular. I do have a rather liking for it. Looks around.
Zacharias nods and says, agreed. Me too have found an unlikely pleasure in visiting Gaston Hall. It is a lively departure from the dreary place where I usually dwell. Oh.
Another note, the construction is going well. It should take perhaps a year or two for it to be completely finished. However.
Understood. Once everything is settled down, I will take more of a direct approach in, well, engaging with the Academy. Right now, so much field work and so little time.
Very well, then. That is all I had to speak to you of. Now I have a boy to retrieve. I think it is best if I have some time with him before introducing you.
That might be for the best, yes. And Zacharias sort of looks at Thrain, seems to hesitate for a second, and then says, thank you.
Larsen says, in this it seems we are very much of one mind, captured by the same problem, unpleasant that it might be to others. I think in this matter we can understand one another.
Yes, fully.
He's a lich!
No.
I know.
I will of course keep this discreet.
Good.
His eyes meeting Zacharias'.
Yep. Zacharias then nods and, starts to get up.
He stays sitting there.
And, on his way out, he will also say, and remember, Thrain, should you wish to visit, the library is open to you.
I might.
And then Zacharias moves out. Back to the party. To see what orgies are going on in the claw.
Oh,
Well, this is a
Oh
very-
boy.
Dragon's horde. Yeah.
You find Azurius covered in makeup disguised as a human. We've got the invisibility. You notice the fact that Cash has my Ion Stone.
Cash is having tryouts in the back room.
Probably.
Probably.
Kyron is like arm wrestling a mammoth or something.
Oh, here Kyron is the owner and businessman.
Yeah.
You
Does he
know,
have
the
like?
only one?
You know, he has
that-
like scantily clad ladies and
Oh, like
and-
fawning over him.
no, they serve
Sitting on
drinks
him
and
while he's
whatnot,
in the
but
back
you know,
counting money.
when he comes around, they bow and such. He's the proprietor.
Oh
He
yes.
could, with a flick of his finger, they could lose their job.
And if he wants to wrestle Mammoth, these employees are going to make that happen, or they will lose their jobs.
And they will make it a freaking spectacle. The guy who comes around once a year with the animals, you can request a mammoth if you really want to, and have Kyron arm wrestle it. That'll be a spectacle.
So